Good morning, guys. This is Xtrahot-Forex. So let's go straight to our quick analysis. The question is, will the market actually recover this week, especially on the indices? On gold, we already see that the market is trying to bounce back. But when we are checking on our economic calendar, we can easily see that, you know what, the market is going to be very busy this, if you can check nicely. So we see that, you know what, on Tuesday, we have Federal Reserve statements or FOMC statements. That is actually something that it's going to move the market. And the question is, are they going to tell us that they are going to cut the rates anytime soon or not? And that it's going to be very good for indices. If they pause the rates and maybe signal any rate cuts coming this year, that will be good. I hope maybe you understand that. So when we go on Thursday, we can also see Britain. They are going to also continue with their interest rates. It seems like they're going to cut there. With the forecast, you can see here from 4.5 to 2.5. It means they will cut with maybe 25 basis points. We'll have to wait and see that. On Friday, we also have employment change from Canada. So it means this week we are just going to focus mostly on FOMC. We want to understand what's really happening on that side of the interest rates. On Friday, we did get that NFP, which it was not really bad. It was not really bad at all because we saw the numbers were a little bit higher than the forecast or the estimate. So this is actually good for the economy or US economy, which means the recession is no longer on the page or on the table, but we'll just have to wait and see what will actually happen going further. So when we talk about fundamentals, especially between Russia and Ukraine, it seems like things are not really moving the way we thought. Things are quite slower. I think those talks, they are not really happening as quick as we thought. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really age well with the market. Yes, US and Ukraine, they did sign that deal or mineral deal. So that is going to be good for, especially for Ukraine and also US. But what we want to know is, are we going to see the war getting to stop or to an end? And that is going to be, and with that delay, we start to see that, you know what, we see that on the market, gold is starting to go higher. And this was actually an aggressive sell off from gold. You can see that this was actually a way too big. Let's see how many percentage was this from this area up to this. It's actually 8%. That is way too big, because it's obvious that these areas were not as bad. So yes, the market did reverse, and you can see that at the moment the market is trying to do what? The market is trying to go even higher, or we can say the market is trying to go higher. At this point, we saw that is actually an area that we can call a support, where the market actually gave us before. If maybe the market broke out of that, we had the last area around this area, you can see around this zone, but the overall structure, as you can see, it is still that nice uptrend. So which means we were expecting the market to go even lower to this point if it kept going even lower. But lucky enough, the market respected that level. So now we see them reversing. So, but still, we're still going to make sure that we keep our support area. Maybe the market along the way will end up reaching those levels. But this was an aggressive sell-off. So we just have to keep up with Russia and Ukraine. I think maybe that is going to be good. And also trade war tensions. Gold is moving up because of that. So the more that we have this trade or tariff tensions and stuff like that, the clear safe haven, it's actually gold. and that's why we see it trying to reverse. So the best thing that we can do is to check those news as we expect FOMC. I think this week is just going to be interesting from Wednesday, even now. But at the moment, I think the market will end up consolidating, especially on indices and currency pairs. So on US30, the market is trying to break out. So we saw that the market is breaking out, but you know what? We had some few tech earnings which were not really bad at all. So I thought maybe we were going to see a nice push to the upside, but it's not really surprising. It's US30, not Nasdaq. But I like the fact that the market is showing us that it's breaking out of that structure, so which means we might end up seeing the market pushing even higher. I hope maybe that makes sense, right? So that's what it's actually happening at the moment. The market broke out. Maybe that is a quicker retest. Obviously, I think US30 will it's going to follow what we saw on S&P 500 and US30. And Nasdaq. You see, at the moment we're no longer on that downtrend. We're out of that. So another one, let's push to the next one. We're not going to add much. I'm trying to change the way we do things. So yeah, we are going to continue with the live sessions more than usual. We're no longer going to just send daily analysis here and there. So which means most likely even today we might go on a live session. I hope maybe that makes sense. So on US Tech or your Nasdaq 100, we can see that already we broke out of our structure. Market was showing us that it was struggling until we see the market bouncing back again. And after that, we saw some few retests around this level, exactly where the market broke out. Nice retest. Now the market is going a little bit higher. So at the moment, we can mark this area where the market actually respected. We have to mark that. Can also mark this area because the market might reach this level or retest here again before continuing the upside. But if we check the overall structure, it's actually showing us that we are on an uptrend. So we expect the market to continue going up as we no longer on this downtrend move. The market is no longer under pressure. Tech earnings were not really bad. And that is good. What we're waiting for at the moment is just FOMC, just to tell us that they expect rate cuts. And if that is going to be something like that, I think we're going to see the market going even higher. Another thing is going to be a China and US tariff war. I saw China, they're starting to go on the table. And I think that is going to be a very good thing for US and China. And actually for the global economy, that is going to be a very good thing, which means we have to keep up with those news so that we can actually see or get some quick updates if something's going to happen. Because once they say they agree on a certain percentage, I think that is going to go even higher. I don't think they're going to agree on a bigger tariff. Obviously, they have to cut. Anything less than 50, that is going to be nice. Or they can even go lower than that. Because at the moment, it doesn't really make sense. So that's why we expect the market to do what? Actually recover. Slowly, I think we are going to get that. But at the moment, we can just call it a day. So this video is not supposed to be that long. So anyways, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like, share with your friends. Thank you very much. Bye.